Hit me, baby. Hello, my cat loving friends. You are here with 19 Cats and Counting. And today we're talking to Isabel Alvarez Arata. We have had her on before. She has a passion for pets, pet care, and pet friendly living. She has a really fun podcast called Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy podcast. Check that out. And she recently got a cat. So we can't wait to talk to her about getting this cat integrated into her household where she has been living with dogs for so long. So as soon as we hear from this sponsor, we will be right back. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my gorgeous blonde BFF, Rita Reimers.
I don't know if I'm blonde today. I've been trying to cover the gray, which my
Never
former
admit that.
hairdresser couldn't help me with, but Linda never admit that.
Never admit that. Never admit that.
Everybody knows me. But anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about the new cat Isabel adopted.
Yes.
And go.
Isabel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, chatting with you guys, catching up.
Yes, it's
so
fun.
You know a lot about cats, have worked with cats, have been a sitter for cats, but it's been a while since you've had a cat living with you, right? As long as I've known you, it's been a couple of dogs.
Oh, it was a lot of animals for a long time. When I first moved to Louisiana with my husband in 2015, we ended up fostering neonatal kittens in addition to our 4 dogs that we had. And then we found a stray dog who now is living in Spain with my sister, but he lived with us for a while until he got adopted permanently by her. So the last time we had cats in the house was 2016. And they were all foster, so it was not a permanent situation. Yes. We got them as like 5-day-old kittens, and they 2 of them were with us for about 4 months, and we flew them to Virginia to be adopted over there. And then the other 2 were with us for about a year, and then we took them also to Virginia to be adopted there because in Louisiana there's a surplus of pets,
just like here.
Yeah, we didn't want to just leave them in Louisiana. So we found homes of people we knew in Virginia and had them over there.
That's amazing.
So we still keep up with them, which is nice because you raise an animal from 5 days old and you don't want to just like never hear from them again or hear about them again.
Yes.
But the last time I had a cat in my house was 2016.
Well, that's why I'm a foster failure.
No,
I can't
2017.
do that.
2017. So we wanted to keep 2 of those cats, but then I got pregnant with my first, Noah. It was a surprise. And we already had 4 dogs. And one of the dogs one of the dogs was not cat friendly. So we were like, okay, like keeping 2 of these cats is going to be pushing the envelope. So we found them a home. Actually, one of my husband's friends from West Point, she took them. So she has them. So we still, like I said, keep up with them. But it's been since 2017 that I have not had a cat in my house. We've had our dogs there were 4 of them when we got married in 2015. And now we're down to 1 of them, obviously, because they aged and passed away. And
well, let me ask, I know we're here to talk about your cat, but my parents, they have 5 dogs now. They used to have 8. How the heck did you manage 4 dogs and a newborn?
It was not easy. It was not easy at all. But you know what? They were older. I will say that it helps because they were all probably over 8 at that time. So when I was pregnant and we first moved to El Paso from Louisiana, my backyard was unusable because the trees had overgrown and they had a ton of nests. So we had little birds all over our backyard. And I had hound dogs. So I was
not good.
35 weeks pregnant, super swollen, August in El Paso, which is misery, walking 4 dogs. By the time my baby was born, I would just baby wear the baby and walk the dogs. So it was actually not that hard because they were older and I would walk them once a day. Like the rest, they would just use the yard to do their business and like sunbathe. So it was pretty easy. But yeah, I mean, it was harder as I had a second child, and then we had multiple, and 2 of our dogs didn't get along, so that made it tough. Like,
it does make it tough.
Get along.
Yes,
but we managed.
We followed you as your Titan grew older and older. And tell me at any point to stop talking about this if you're going to tear up. That was a really good dog. Good dog.
He was a good dog.
And I don't know. We grieved with you as you went through this process. And then what you did before time. You scheduled the day. You made sure I'm going to give him Christmas or New Year's or whatever it was. And then I'm
All
going
of
to,
it.
and you scheduled the day.
Yeah.
And then you took him out to do all these favorite things and got him
Oh.
cappuccinos and did this and did that and made this
Yeah.
tremendous celebration
Yes.
around him going to a better place. And it
Yes.
was beautiful from our end. I don't know about you.
Oh.
Isabel's fine. I'm going to cry. Isabel's fine. It was very my heart. And even your children were a part of it. You did
Yes.
that. You could not have done that better. I think you should teach
Thank
classes on
you.
how to say goodbye because you really did. You involved everyone. And it was touching.
Thank
You
you
made a
so
real
much.
thing out of it.
How did
I
you get through
really-
it without bawling?
I mourned his loss for 2 years because in 2021, the vet told us that he had degenerative myelopathy, which is a nerve condition where they will lose all mobility slowly.
Oh.
And she thought he maybe had a couple months left of life before he was completely, immobile. And so every day was a gift. He lived 2 years after that diagnosis.
Yes,
So
amazing.
by the time he left, I had already mourned so much. And we really wanted it to not be traumatic. I wanted, at 15 and a half, the next day could be a disaster.
Sure.
It could be something awful. It could be suffering. So I wanted to do it before. I want to say goodbye before we got to an emergency situation.
Smart.
And I knew, I said, what is he living for? He's living for his food and he's living for his walks. And so we walked to the last day. We ate delicious food. It was kind of dark, but I had a list going, food I tried before I died, because he had a few weeks left. It was the holidays, so I was like, you want to try this fancy brie? Let's put it on a little cracker for you.
Exactly. Yes.
Do you want a little
100%.
fake jam with that? Okay, let's
When
try
they're-
it. 'Cause
when
I
they're
knew-
that
I knew he was
old-
gonna go.
Yeah, let them eat what they want. I have a cat that's almost 18, If she wants to eat chicken instead of cat food, go. I'll give it to
Yeah,
her.
And
I
that's,
don't care.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And Rita said, and of course she won't be getting the taurine. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, no.
Was a CNA with hospice for a while. And I remember one of my clients, she was very close to going. And she all of a sudden was like, I want Kentucky Fried Chicken. She just, I don't know. And her daughter said, Mother, you have heart disease. You can't have Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'm like, girl, I'm going to
She
get you
can-
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
she
She
can
can
have
have
whatever
anything
she
she
wants.
wants. What's it going to kill her? I mean, come on.
I know.
Exactly.
Do not interrupt my fun at the end of my life. Whatever it is I asked for, just let me have it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Just
Did he like the brie? I'm dying to know.
He loved the brie. He loved the only thing he wasn't that keen on was the cheeseburger we got him from McDonald's. He wasn't that keen on it. He preferred the chicken nuggets. He loved, his favorite thing was brisket, Texas brisket.
Oh, I love
yum.
brisket too.
Good taste, Titan. Good taste.
Yes,
I'm
he
with
was
you.
like, that is, so we had a quinceañera for him back in July of last year. So
I
that was
remember.
the first time he officially tried brisket. I'm sure he had a little taste here, but
Yeah.
I gave him a plate of brisket at 15.
Oh,
Yep.
And
Have
he
it.
was beyond. I mean, he was like, this is why I'm still here. This is,
Yes, exactly.
it's been worth it. The dragging of the paws and the struggling to get up. It's worth it because I'm getting my brisket. And he actually did really well. I mean, it just, what was coming was not something I wanted him to have to live through. And I remember saying to my husband, it's not like he has his affairs to get in order. It's not like he has to finish up his will. Why extend it?
I get it.
Waiting for a visit from his children or something that coming out of
And you know
state,
what?
right?
He got a visit from my mom, my grandmother, my in-laws.
Amazing.
So we had friends over the holidays who he loved having people over. Even if he didn't know them, they gave him snacks. So he had a great last
He was
2 weeks.
well-
And then
Well loved.
he really was. But then
That is an amazing gift.
it's funny because he left Kira behind, and I thought, because I had spent the past 2 years just spoiling Titan and kind of ignoring Kira because she's the
Aw.
youngest and the healthiest. So I was kind of, my attention was all on him. I thought,
Yes.
ooh, she's gonna want to be the only dog now. So now I'm walking only her, and now I'm giving her all the supplements because she's 12. It's not like she's a spring chicken either.
Yes.
She's my youngest.
She's the youngest, but
She's
she's
the
a
youngest
senior.
at 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking she was gonna live it up as the only dog, and she hated it.
Really? So is that what prompted you to go out and adopt your kitty?
Yes. Yes. Because it was
And-
really sad. She's always had a bit of separation anxiety, but her
Mhm.
separation anxiety was going through the roof. Even when I was just going to get the kids, like 25-minute round trip, and I would come home and she was like at the door, like panicked.
Oh.
And so I was like, no, I mean, this is not right. And I don't personally feel like I want to bring my dog everywhere, especially here where it gets so hot in the summer.
You
Yes.
That it's not
can't,
really,
yes.
it's not really possible. So I didn't want to go with that
Exactly.
option. And so I thought I have to do something, but I wasn't ready for a puppy. And I have young kids, 3 and 5. And
Yeah.
older dogs they've always been my thing. Like in the future, I will be the lady who like adopts the 12-year-old, like
That's
dog.
us.
And
Yep.
That's
if
how I
get
am
2
with
years,
that
that's
cat.
great,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
If I
Yep.
get 2 years, I'll take it, but
Exactly.
not with little kids. So I was like, I need to get her somebody. And a cat just kind of kept coming to mind. And my stylist, I'd gone to get my hair done, and she had a cat in the back that she had adopted for her cat, and they weren't getting along. Yes, I've given her your information multiple
Thank
times.
you.
Thank you.
I was like, I was like, why are you struggling with this? Call my friends.
Right.
But she had kind of thought about giving that cat to a friend of hers, and he was at the salon that day, and it kind of just planted a seed. Like, she's like, do you want a cat? And I was like, do I want a cat?
Let me think about
At first
that.
I was like, no, of course I can't have a cat. Like, I have little kids. My kid has asthma. I don't know if they're allergic. I'm allergic to cats. Like, I am.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no, I can't do that right now. It's just not a good time. And then the seed was planted, and like less than a month later, Van Gogh came home.
Where did you
love
find
it.
Van Gogh? And we're gonna have to take a
So
break in about.
this
2
is really
minutes or so.
interesting. I'll be quick. So this is really interesting. I went to the Texas Pet Sitters Conference. I was their MC, and somewhere that weekend, I don't know if I dreamt it, I don't know if it was spoken about, somebody planted Russian blue in my head.
They're great cats. I've had
Oh,
two.
they're great cats. Yeah.
I knew nothing about Russian blues, like other than their coloring. I knew nothing
Yeah.
about them.
Mhm.
So before I'm even leaving Dallas to come home, I'm at the airport, like on Pet Finder, looking for Russian blues because something told me I had to have a Russian blue. And the next day, 24 hours later, I have a Russian blue in my car, and I'm coming home with him with all the accoutrement that I bought for him.
I
love
love that.
this.
By the way, I love those Texas Pet Sitters when we owned Just for Cats Pet Sitting. I always wanted to go to that conference, but we just never could make it. But there's a
Well,
lot
you
of
should
them that I
speak
miss
there.
talking to.
Yes,
We
we'd
need
be
to have you
thrilled
guys
to.
We'd be happy
Yes.
to.
there.
We'd be thrilled to. Yes, definitely.
Yes, let's
Yes.
because I think they're gonna invite me back to MC. I think.
Nice.
And if they do, I would love to.
That would be
all
wonderful.
get
We would
together.
love
That'd be
that.
Aren't they
fun.
fun?
Yeah.
Was Arta Moore there?
Arden was not
Safety?
there this year.
Oh, she wasn't
No,
there?
not this
Oh.
year. No,
she's
what they
usually-
do, which I think is really great, is they really try to change the speakers and have
Mhm.
new
That's
people
good.
come in every
Good.
time.
That's good.
Because a lot of these conferences, you go and you see the same speakers over and over again, and that they do a really good job of bringing
Good.
new and like even industry parallel or industry adjacent speakers that are not just pet sitters,
That's
which
Yes.
is really nice too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, it gives you different vantage
Exactly.
points, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I know we need to take a break.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
stop-
take a quick break, and then I want to hear all about how you are spoiling Van Gogh.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting. My wonderful co-host and BFF, Linda Hall. She's beautiful too, by the way. And Isabel, who's also gorgeous. She is a new cat mom. And we're just talking about how that happened. And I want to know how you introduced your cat to your dog.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
the good thing is Kira had been part of that like fostering of neonatal kittens.
Oh, good.
And what's really
Wonderful.
funny, we talked about Titan. Titan was terrified of the kittens. Terrified. The kittens loved him. Like we could leave him out. We could leave Radar out. Radar was like a Pomeranian mix, and we could leave Kira out when the cats were around because we had them. We moved out of our master bedroom to leave them the master bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yes,
did that in my apartment.
I
it
love
made sense, right? It made sense because they had an ensuite bathroom, and I wanted to be able to use the sink and stuff. So it made sense. So my husband, it was just me and my husband, and we're a bunch of suckers. So we went to like one of the guest rooms and left them. So when we would open the door and all the pets were together, the only one who couldn't be there was my hound girl Socks because she would have, hurt herself a cat.
Yeah.
So the Kira was always like fine with them. Like she was kind of a little bit nervous but happy.
Mhm.
Radar was super confident with cats, and then Titan was terrified. Like, I remember Olivia giving him like a little bite, like a little loving bite, purring, and he never again. Like, he was the kind of dog that you did one thing to him and it like stayed in his
He's done.
memory permanently.
Right. Right.
So the fact that I've like replaced him with a cat, he's probably like either livid or laughing about it.
Oh,
Because
we're gonna go with
like,
laughing.
He's like, you did what? You got a cat? Those things are terrible. He was terrified of that.
Oh, I love it.
But Kira was always kind of at ease, not like
Mhm.
super thrilled, but not that scared either.
Yeah.
So I knew she'd be okay. And I did not take anybody with me to rescue him. My husband Chris was traveling and my kids were at school. And I did that on purpose because as the professional in the pet industry that I am, I
Mhm.
wanted
Yes.
to be very strategic about what pet I was bringing home.
Mhm.
It
Yes.
wasn't going to be an emotional decision. It wasn't going to be something that my kids coerced me into doing.
Yes.
I really
I
wanted
see
it
your
to be-
daughter falling in love with the fluffiest thing there and wanting
Exactly.
to take that Princess
Exactly.
Fluffy cat.
Exactly.
Y'all have to follow Isabel just to see her children.
Oops, I'm
She
sorry.
made some pretty children, her and her husband, and they
Thank
are
Well, they're
Yeah.
both cute as heck. So of
they
course
are
the kids
both
are gorgeous.
stinking adorable. I mean,
Thank
beyond adorable. So yes,
Thank
I
you.
get such your daughter, especially, just she's got that
I
diva
know.
attitude and her little
She's
tutus,
so
her little
funny.
fancy schmancies, and her
gosh.
little she's all in, and she just makes my heart
Love it.
happy.
She is. She
makes
really
my heart
is as
happy.
delightful as she looks on social. Like, I will say,
Aw.
like, she really is that delightful. She's always happy. She's always funny. She's goofy and silly, very girly, loves
Oh,
her
yeah.
dresses. She
Oh,
will
yeah.
not wear separates. Like, she does not wear separates. Like, if it's
Wow.
a shirt and shorts, she won't wear it. She can wear shorts under her dresses, but there has to be a dress all day,
Got
every
it.
day. She sometimes will sleep in her
I
dresses
love
and
it.
wear them to school the next day. She wants to like sleep in the
Oh.
dress and be ready to go.
Oh my gosh.
My oldest has a
Hilarious.
niece like that. From the moment she tried on her flower girl dress, she was like all about that flower girl
Right.
dress. And she
Yeah.
was so happy when the wedding was over, my daughter's wedding, so that she could wear that thing. And
Every
she
day.
wanted to wear it to bed and to school and
Yes.
everywhere. Yes.
Yes. And what's really funny is Mila, the first like 2 weeks that we had Van Gogh, our new cat, she would come home from school and go, hi, to the cat because she was so excited and she didn't really know what to do with herself. And she would
Yes.
just stand there and squeal at him. And it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. It made me laugh every time. I could never get it on video. I wish she's not. Now
Yes.
she says, hi, cat. Hi, cat. She'll ask him in the morning. She'll say, did you have a good sleep?
That's
cute.
so
It's
sweet.
wonderful. You're raising children who are empathetic to animals. God bless you, my darling. God
Maybe
bless
she'll be a
you.
future cat behaviorist.
Maybe,
Yes, there you
maybe
go,
they are
yes.
so obsessed with him. They grew up with old dogs and
Yeah.
like the experience here with a cat that plays with them, they throw things and he brings it back, you know, like
Yes.
he like enjoys them, he throws
Yes.
himself and he like gives them his belly to pet, all that. They love that because
Oh.
they've never had a pet like that.
No.
They've
You
You
always
brought home
had
the perfect cat.
I was just gonna
Yes.
say, I'm glad you
did.
got a gentle cat.
Yes.
He's so gentle. So I walked into the rescue that I got him from is the Cat's Meow Las Cruces, which is basically like they have an adoption center that has 100 cats in there in different
Wow.
very well run, very clean, very nice. They have a huge group of fosters as well. So
Oh.
he was in foster and they brought him in so that I could meet him and they brought his sister. But I had said I really only wanted one. I remember I messaged you and I asked you, what do you guys think about siblings? And you said, go for it.
Uh-huh.
But the
Yep.
reason I didn't go for it is because I really was afraid that they would bond together and leave Kira out. And I
Uh-huh.
was tired of Kira being the one left
That's a
out.
good
I
point.
get it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
At least you had another pet at home. When you bring
Yeah.
home a kitten,
Yes.
they really need another animal in the house.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
yeah.
and honestly, Kira's getting up there and at some point, you know, we'll have another cat or another dog for Van Gogh because
Sure.
I
Yeah.
imagine he's going to want that like the
Oh,
companionship that he has
definitely.
now.
Yes.
So I walked into the little kennel where he was and he was like snuggling. He saw me, came up, immediately started purring on me. His sister didn't even look at me twice. She
Ah!
was taking her nap. She was fine. And I said to him, I said, I can only take, like, once I was like obsessed because I had already seen him in pictures. I had told the rescue where I was and what I was looking for. that's the pet we had agreed was a good match for me
Right.
and for us. And so I was already sold on him, but I was like, I'm so sorry, Van, his name was Van. I said, Van, I can't take both of you. So like, I understand if you want to stay with your sister, like, but I can only take one of you. And he jumped into the carrier that I brought.
Okay.
So
That was a sign.
Okay. I was like, okay, he's like ready to go. And he like gave her a bunch of kisses and stuff. And I brought him home, and it feels like he's been here forever. It feels,
he just fit
I
right
have
in.
not had a cat, and I feel like
Yeah.
he's been here forever. We put him in the guest bathroom for a while, so that he and Kira could smell each other underneath
Yes.
Mhm.
the
Very good.
door. We had gates all over the house because of my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And we left those gates up specifically so that they could be in the same area, but not next to each other. And obviously, because I have 2 young children, I'm watching a lot of things. So I
Sure.
didn't want to put anybody in a position where I couldn't respond quickly enough. So
Yes.
the gates were great, and they were tall enough that he wasn't going to jump over them. So I felt really comfortable.
Well, that's perfect,
And-
because that really is key to
Yes.
getting
Yes.
even 2 cats to get along.
Yes.
And what we did, which is crazy, because I feel very confident with him and who he is and how he looks at life. He seems very easygoing and kind of like go with the flow. And we went on vacation with him, my kids, my dog, my husband, myself, to Phoenix in the car.
Oh my
in
gosh.
the carrier, because I'm a stickler. So he was in his carrier the whole time. Like, he had never been in a carrier that long. Stop for treats and like, long drive, because it's like 7 hours. He
Yeah.
did amazing. And once we
Wow.
got to the hotel, the first night I left him in the bathroom and Kira in the bedroom part of the hotel room. And then we got to our hotel room that had like slightly more space. So I was able to kind of make it so that they could both be in the parlor area, like the living room area.
Yeah.
Right.
And they had a bathroom. They had a place for him to use his litter box. She wasn't going into the litter box yet. She discovered it later. So they had such a great time at the resort that we stayed in, because they now at this point I was able to leave them alone, because I felt like if anything happened, he had so many like tall areas to retreat to,
Right.
that it was like safe. And I trust her implicitly, honestly, at this point. So they had been like separated for like a few days, and then a little more and a little more and a little more. And by the time we were on vacation, it had been like 2 weeks since they met. So we had a great time. They added so much to the trip because it was so fun. In the evenings, I have little kids, so in the evenings we would just like watch TV and hang out, and
the
we
animals.
would, like we would just the cat's like sitting on top of me. Kira's like right there. The kids are watching their TV, having a good time. It was so relaxing and such a nice family
I love it.
trip. And like, you wouldn't know that he had only been with us for 2 weeks. He fit in so well.
Have you
That's
considered
amazing.
harness training him so you can walk him along with the dog?
We are harness training
Are
him.
you
He
good?
love it.
actually, okay, so this cat, another thing I wanted was a social cat that I could be like, could be an adventure cat. And that's another reason why I only wanted one, because I was like, if I get 2, it's going to be harder to do all this training, right?
100%. Yes.
I've never done this training before, so it's going to be a learning curve for me and for the cat. So he is backpack trained. He and Kira and I walk every single day. He walks in our backpack.
That's
Walk
awesome.
every day. So fun, because it's such nice weather right now that like he's outside, but he's obviously safe in my backpack.
Yes. Yes.
At first he would meow the whole walk. Now he doesn't say a peep. He just goes in his carrier and sits, and he's just like, all right, let's go.
He's acclimated to it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Ugh.
so harness training, we're doing too. We've only taken him out back. So like he wears the harness inside for a little while to get used to it. It definitely,
Yes.
he goes limp a little bit, you know.
Yes.
They
He's getting
do.
less. He's doing less.
I love
of
that when you put it on the cat and it falls over, like it
Yes.
completely loses its ability to stand or walk or
It's
anything.
so funny.
So he's over that hump now, and we've
Good.
actually used the leash on it outside. But
Good.
if by any reason, any reason you pull the leash even slightly, he goes limp. He doesn't like the idea that you're in charge of the leash at all.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Right?
For a cat,
Yes.
yeah,
Uh-huh,
that's about
uh-huh.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, now I remember that you're in charge, and now I'm limp. So
Exactly.
he is doing great on that. The kids love it. I feel really safe because we have big rock walls in the back.
Good.
So like, even I let my kids kind of like take the leash right now because he goes limp. I don't think he's gonna scale the rock wall with that thing that he's so uncomfortable with. But once he gets more comfortable, we're gonna have to be more careful. But he's doing so great. He has been just such a blessing. He's given us so much joy. One of my best friends came to visit, and she's not really a cat person, and she's like, "Why'd you get a cat?" And I was like, "Because I need love and support." And he is like my emotional support cat.
Truth. Yes.
And Kira's. I think he's also Kira's because they play. They love each other.
Wonderful.
They don't quite cuddle yet, but they're always next to each other.
Good. Yeah.
I love dog cat friendships. I wish I could have that, but 15 cats, I don't think they would want a dog. No.
Yeah.
It would take a very special dog.
Yeah, my dog came in when we had, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 cats.
Yeah.
So, and she's a Chihuahua. So yeah, she blended in very well. The ones that were here, and then we just kept adding cats. And so it's just been like something she expects. And she has approached each of 12 cats at one point or another and tried to play with them. And they give her a smack upside the head. She says, okay. There's one out of 12 cats will play with her. It's Galway, my big orange boy. And they will roll around on the floor. And Sadie will just, and it's hysterical because that cat could eat that dog.
He's like twice Sadie's size, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Galway's a big Tom, and Sadie's a Chihuahua,
little Chihuahua.
So yeah, but she just gets her big girl pants on and just and acts all rough and tough, and it's hysterical. But she won't even approach anybody but Galway because they've all said, "No, I have no use for you." But they do all peacefully coexist. Nobody's going after anybody. So yeah,
I wanted it to be more than peacefully coexist because I feel like she needed that.
Yes.
And I think it was divine intervention that led me to him.
Yes,
sometimes
I do too.
So we have caught her. We've caught Van Gogh. His name is Van Gogh now because my kids liked Van. The rescue had named him and his siblings after like musicians. So Van Morrison, Van Halen. Van is not like, I think I drive a minivan, so I think van.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking of the shoes. My son likes Vans.
Oh yeah, so
Vans. That's my living with an 18-year-old boy.
So
I like Van Gogh. That's good.
So I said, okay, what the kids, right? Like I didn't give them a choice on what pet to get, so I wanted to give them a choice on something. So they were like, we like Van, and so I was like, okay, so we were like, Van, what Van, and so. I said, he's always making everything so beautiful. He literally sits on my chair and it looks better. Like, how does he do this?
I know what you mean. I do.
So I said he makes everything more beautiful. He's an artist. He's Van Gogh. Like he's my Van Gogh, and he is just so sweet. And he will lick Kira's eyes, like he'll groom her. And do you know that Radar used to do that to her? And so Chris, my husband, and I are like, is this Radar reincarnated? Like, what is this?
You gotta wonder. I wouldn't hold anything. I'll tell you, Rita's last cat in.
I knew what you were going to say.
1 week after her sonny died. She's lived in that house in 4 years. Never before and never since has there been a cat in her backyard or her front yard. We've never seen a stray cat around her house.
Never.
This cat plopped itself on her back deck, and was looking in, and she went out and she said, well, let's see if I can pick him up. Sure, he let her pick him up, let him carry her in the house. Had obviously never been inside because when she turned the TV on, he had a little freak out moment. But
well, I just got done saying out loud after Sonny passed, I don't want any more cats. Right? Hello.
What she said was, I am not taking in another cat unless it appears at my door.
He's either Sonny or Sonny sent him.
And when that happened, I was like, you do understand this is your fault, right? You put that out there in the univerce.
Why doesn't that work with money? Why?
Yeah, I know. We've tried. I'm not taking another dime until $1 million falls in my lap. Yeah, it didn't work. But yes, or like sometimes it's just meant to be, and you just know
it. And he walks around the house like he's been here before from day one. So we're always like, have you been here before, child? So, and I like, he's so funny because he's very much a dog in many ways. Like I got him cat trees, just because I wanted to make sure that he had high areas to go to in case he got nervous with Kira. I did all the things that I thought were like very strategic.
You did.
He just wants to sit like on her bed. He lays on her bed. He lays on the couch. He sleeps on our bed. He doesn't go in things. So like we have a catio that has like a little opening. He does not go in there at all. Like he has no use for anything like that. He scratches like a cat.
Yeah.
But otherwise he behaves very much like your typical dog that, kind of remains toward the floor, kind of
Yeah.
like Kira. He wants to
Yeah.
be closer to Kira.
Yeah.
Except for, when I'm here, he just wants to sit on my lap.
Yeah.
He's
My
like,
latte was like that. We always said this is not. We always wanted to should we get another cat to be Latte's friend? Latte didn't want to be friends with any of the other cats. I mean, they all peacefully coexisted and it was all
Right.
cool, but they didn't play together or anything. Latte wanted a human. She was just a person's cat, It
Yes.
was just her thing.
yes.
I know.
I'm
we're
sorry.
running
I'm
out of
petting
time.
my
We could
little
keep on
angel over here.
forever.
And he's super food motivated too. Like he goes up, he'll go up on our counter and he'll like lick avocado. And I'm like, I thought you guys were picky.
They're
He's not
supposed to
picky.
be.
Did someone not tell you that you're an obligate carnivore and that's not meat?
Avocado. I'm like, you're gonna get an allergy or something. What are you doing?
I had a cat that,
Goodness.
like, if I held a piece of watermelon, she would suck the juice out of the watermelon.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he
Very
sees the
strange.
fat in it or something. He's
Maybe.
like, oh,
Maybe.
this is
I
good.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's super food motivated. So I think that we can do some training too. Once things settle down a little bit, I want to
Definitely.
teach him some
Clicker training.
tricks.
We'll tell you
Clicker
which clicker to
train.
get.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
please do. Please do. Do they have
Yes.
clickers that are a little bit less loud for cats, right?
Well,
Is that
this
how it
one,
works?
Not
I don't think
bad.
it's too loud. It's a stick as well as
Oh,
a clicker.
yes.
So it's a lead
Yes.
stick.
I
Got
like
it.
some of them, the stick is separate from the clicker. And I lose my phone. I lose
the click.
remotes. I don't
Holly,
need two separate
How
things.
loud is
I
it?
need
Hit
this
the
together.
click, Linda. Not loud.
I couldn't even hear it.
Well, I can't either, but I thought it's because I'm deaf.
It's not terribly loud. And yeah, being all in one, it's got
Yes.
Because
those
they're looking
words,
up. What do you
but-
want us to do?
I'm
Look.
sorry. That wasn't for you. I'm sorry.
I know. How dare you click without a treat? What are you crazy?
I was like, what?
Bad
Yes.
Linda. Bad Linda.
I'm
Harley's
gonna
really
get
giving
Van
me a
Gogh so you
look,
can
too.
see him. He's right here.
That's a dirty look
Yes.
if I ever saw one.
I was gonna say Harley's really giving me a look. I think that I disturbed her highness. Oh my
Oh,
This is
Oh,
Van
You're so
Gogh.
beautiful. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love Russian
so
blues.
sweet.
Oh, so pretty.
say something so that you come back on the screen, Isabel.
Hello,
Mm.
hello, hello, hello. Look,
There you
There you
go.
go.
Van Gogh. You
What
want-
a
can you walk up here and say
doll.
hi? Can you say hi? And he has a Starry Night collar on.
Oh my
Look at
gosh,
that.
yes.
For Van Gogh. Perfect.
For Van Gogh. I
Perfect.
found that
That's
at
one of my
PetSmart.
favorite paintings.
I
Perfect.
know, he's so sweet and he's
Oh.
been so just wonderful and he's so chill. He's a good cat.
Yes. Yeah.
8 months it could have gone either way.
He looks like
But he's
Smokey.
Oh,
very
yeah.
mature.
He looks like my
He's very
Smokey.
Sweet.
Mhm.
I miss my
Rita had a
Smokey.
Russian blue she found when
I've
she was
had
living in
two.
LA.
Aw.
Sebastian
but
was a
Smokey's
Russian.
the one. Yeah, Smokey's the one I got close to. He was just the best cat. I always said, does he ever do anything wrong? Like I never saw him miss a box or fight with a friend or
Never.
anything. He was
Never.
just
That's my guy
perfect.
right here. He should
Ah,
have
At the end, he got a little grumpy. He didn't want to be touched as much.
well, he
but-
was
Yeah.
sick.
I
He
get
was
it.
sick. So yeah, exactly. His kidneys were
Yeah.
going. I had
Yeah,
to
his
think about
kidneys.
it.
His kid-
Had to
I know.
think about it,
I've
yes.
lost so many. It's cancer, kidneys, you name it. I can't keep straight who's what.
I know
the
who's
most part.
what's it and who's on first, but yes.
He's literally melting in my lap right now. Like
Oh,
he
I
just
love
like
it.
he plops and my vet even when he came home and he had a little bit of ringworm on his eye. It's under control now, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And the only one who got ringworm in the house was me, by the way.
Why? Because you're handling
Everybody was
him.
like,
Yeah.
Everybody said your kids are gonna get ringworm, and I was like, oh no, the only one that got it was me. But it's like little and it's healing.
Yeah. It's
Um,
really
but
common
my-
from the shelters.
It is. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I took him to the vet, and the vet was kind of like holding him to check his eye, and he just kind of plopped, and she's like, "What is he doing?" He's like fainting on me, and I'm like, "This is what he does." He's like,
Maybe he's
so,
got a
like,
little rag doll in him somewhere.
I wonder. Yeah, I should
he,
get him
like,
DNA
just-
tested. And
I
yes.
do. I want to. I want
Yes.
to. Do you recommend
do
them? Are
too.
we?
I want to
I-
do one on my
I
sweetie
do
pie.
think it gives you some good insight because, not all Bengals are this, not all
Right.
this is that, but it does play a part. Most Bengals
Yes,
are
sure
super high
does.
energy. And,
Yes.
when somebody says, yeah, I found out there was Bengal, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah. So it can give you an idea of what they're more predisposed to.
We've been trying to
Right.
get them on our
certain breeds.
podcast.
Yes, we need to start that again. but certain breeds are more prone to. And so if you can head it off holistically and, be doing things to
Well,
head it off.
sometimes you just want to know because you want to know. Like I
And
want to know
sometimes you
what
just
sweetie
wanna know
pie
exactly.
is.
Right.
Yes,
With
exactly.
With Kira, she looks like a border collie mix. So like we've never been like inspired to do it. We did do
Yes.
the genetic testing for Titan because we wanted to find out without an MRI if he had degenerative myelopathy, which is a genetic condition, and he did not have it, which is why he lived 2 more years after that diagnosis.
Yes.
What was he?
Yes.
What did it come back as? What kind
He
of dog
was
was he?
Rottweiler, Chow Chow, Chihuahua, and I can't remember what else. But Chow Chow and
quite a mix.
Rottweiler and Chow Chow were more than anything. And what's funny is when I was a pet sitter, some of my favorite breeds were Rottweilers and Chow Chows, or dogs that I cared for.
So you were drawn to, yes, exactly.
He was my soul dog. And like I really thought that I was going to be able to like live life without that connection. And like I made it a whole like 6 weeks. And then I went and adopted Van Gogh, and now I'm like back to like a peaceful place with my like right hand guy, Van Gogh.
Yes, I felt the same way when I brought Sweetie Pie home. Linda knows my original heart cat was my Sadie.
And she said there will never be another that I feel that way. I love all my cats. I love them. I die for them. But there will never be another like Sadie. And then Sweetie entered the arena.
I think she's maybe a little... Sorry, Sadie.
Oh my goodness.
I tell people when she comes on screen, I'll say, don't tell Rita she didn't give birth to that cat because she will argue with you. That's her.
She's my daughter.
I felt about Titan.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my kids.
I always called Titan my firstborn, and people were like, oh, just wait till you have your own kids. And I'm like, okay, I've had my own kids. He's still my firstborn.
And it's still my firstborn. Exactly. Yes. One does not replace the other.
Well, some people don't have that type of attachment. The minute they get pregnant, cat's gone. But really, cats and children can have a very great relationship.
Oh my
depending on the temperament of the cat and how you raise your children.
This has been amazing.
Cats and dogs.
This has been amazing. This has given my kids that experience with pets that they never had. And I feel like I'm watching them interact, and I find that I'm like, I couldn't teach this. This I can't teach. These boundaries that he's teaching them, these like connections, the nonverbals that he's teaching them, I can't teach that.
I wrote a blog.
Linda's blog.
I said,
I know we're about
when I become ruler of the world, because I'm not happy just being over the United States. I want to rule the world. Rule number 1, if you need to have a cat in your house, and especially if you have children, like I will punish you. You will pay a hefty fine, and it will go to rescues and
because what do cats teach? Why?
Because cats teach consent.
That's right.
I think there would be no #MeToo. I think there would be none of that if every child were raised to read body language and understand that a grimace and a pullback is as loud as someone screaming no in your face.
That's right.
Exactly.
Cats teach consent. And the gift you are giving your children, you are teaching your daughter and your son. It's invaluable. And everyone they come in contact with in their life will be thankful for that.
Every living being has boundaries.
Yes. And we've always been big on consent. Like I was the mom that would still, when my daughter was potty training and still using diapers, I would be like, are we changing your diaper now or in 5 minutes? And it was up to her to decide when we were doing it. We had to do it, but she had control over her body. And so consent has always been something really important to me, especially in this day and age where we're allowed to say no, and we're allowed to say a resounding no, and everybody has to listen to us. Times are changing. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to be polite. I was raised to hug even if I didn't want to hug. My kids are not expected to behave that way.
Good. Yes.
That's
I
important.
do that. Even my grandsons, I'll say, did grandma get a hug? And if they pull back, usually my Owen, I'll say, that's okay. I'm just gonna blow you a kiss or something. And
exactly.
If their moms ever say, oh, grandma, I said, nope, it's okay. Maybe I'll get one before I leave is what I usually do.
I was always forced to kiss my parents goodnight, and I always hated it.
It's not.
I can say that because they don't listen to this. So.
And there are a lot of people who get scared and just kind of say a quiet no, and then get talked into, reading the body language.
Well, look at
this means it too.
Back in the day, these college girls didn't sometimes realize that they had been victimized because it happened so strategically like that. And there was nobody teaching the boys or the girls how to set a boundary and respect a boundary. I'm glad it's different now.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
that's
you
why,
know
yeah.
what's funny? I just heard this yesterday. Brene Brown was interviewed by somebody. Brene Brown is the researcher that focuses on respect and compassion and empathy. And she says that when she started researching, she thought that the people who were the most compassionate toward others were people who were maybe spiritual or had like, a very strong moral compass. But in her research, she found that the people who are most compassionate and empathetic toward others are the ones with rock solid boundaries for themselves.
That makes
Yes.
sense.
Isn't that interesting?
That
It
makes
makes
perfect
total
sense.
sense.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
I know we're way over time.
Yes.
No.
We could just go on and on, but
we could.
yes, come on again as Van Gogh
Yes.
gets older.
Yes.
I want to
Love
hear
to.
how things are going.
Yes. Keep us
I
posted.
would love to. Yes.
Yes.
I want to have you and the two crazy cat ladies on at the same time. I want to see you guys are you coming
Oh, we
to
love
Vegas?
them.
To
That
Super
could be
Super?
riotous. Let me
Could be
tell you.
arranged. That could be
I know.
arranged.
We need to get us all together. I would love to have that happen on my podcast.
Yes.
Oh,
that
we're
would be
looking forward to it.
wonderful.
That's a yes from
Yes.
us.
Yep.
Awesome.
Definite.
Awesome.
Definite.
Awesome. I'll be in
Definite.
touch. I'll be in touch for that then.
Sounds good.
Great. Keep us posted, and thanks again
Yes.
for coming on our show, Isabel. Be sure you guys look for Isabel's show on Pet Life Radio, Covered in Pet Hair, and you also have it up on your YouTube.
Yes.
Is your YouTube also called Covered in Pet Hair?
I'm on all social media as Covered in Pet Hair.
Wonderful.
One word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you again for
Makes it
having me.
easy.
I always
Thank you
love
for
catching up with
coming.
you
We
both.
love you. We love spending time with you.
Welcome to the world of feline motherhood.
I'm
Yes.
so excited. It's been a long
Yes.
time coming. I'm
I
so happy to be
know.
part of this club.
Hey.
Linda,
Yes.
as
we need you.
always, thank you for being my co-host, my ride or die
Always.
best friend, even though we live so far apart.
Not forever.
I know. And Mark Winter, who gave us this spot on Pet Life Radio, I'm forever grateful. And don't forget, every day is Catter Day.
Cheers.